Here we go. Eventually the stream will start. This is where we wait for YouTube to give us a sign.
Give us a sign.
There we go. Aha, we are live. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of the Jedi Academy, the stream, the Q&A show, where this is nothing but Q&A, where we bring the best and brightest of content creators, and then we sprinkle in a little bit of mental damage, that being me, from RSG, to answer all your questions about Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, the mobile game brought to you by Capital Games. Welcome on a Saturday morning. Glad to have you guys here. I'm sure everybody is just still waking up, grabbing their coffee, grabbing whatever they need. I should say most of you. There's some people out there that it's late evening and they're grabbing a beer. And that's all right, too. So, welcome to the show. It's pretty simple what we do here. You have questions about Star Wars Galaxy Heroes. We hopefully have the answers for you.
Hopefully.
So,
mostly
we have answers.
Mostly.
Yeah. That person you hear is the Nev, my co-host from the GA Center on the Escape Podcast.
Hello.
And it's pretty simple how this works. If you have a question, a couple things of how this works and plays out, but it's pretty simple. If you have a question, put your question into the chat. Make sure you put the actual word question for your actual question statement. I filter by using the word question as the filter word. And so if you have a question, all you need to do is put that in the chat. Now, it does behoove you to get your question in sooner rather than later. If you do it much later, you may not get to it. It's just the way it is. Sometimes we do have an overflow of questions. And if we don't get your question, we still might answer your question, because a lot of time we get questions that are just general. You may be thinking, but someone already asked it. So there you go. So if you have a question, it really does behoove you to get those in sooner rather than later. So if you have a question, go ahead and get those into the chat and get those going so I can start filtering out and getting to your questions. And it's pretty simple. We'll go around the corn, as Grande Patron would say, and we'll answer your questions to the best of our abilities. Giving everybody a few minutes to get in here, like, you know, the panel.
It's more like back and forth, as opposed to around the corn.
Right now, it's like, what do you think? I don't know. What do you think? I don't know. What do you think?
You watch. I mean, obviously, it's just you and I now, but you watch the hangovers come in over the next hour, and people's faces will be like, "Yeah, hey, I'm here, hello." They'll be like,
"Had a long last night with the Hamzy. We were doing a bunch of shoeies last night on that Heinz stream, boy, let me tell you." Which wouldn't shock me at all. I didn't get a chance to watch the Heinz stream last night. I've been doing my workout and my diet, and actually slept decently for once. I'm yawning, but that's...
Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down, never gonna tell a lie, desert you.
All right, Ram Bam just cheered 76 times. This guy here, look at this guy. You know, maybe join the panel, but decided he just wants to be in chat and give us a hard time. But thank you for the 76 biddies from Stream Alerts. So thank you. All right, let me just make sure everything's good. I did tag everybody. Yes, I did. All right. Well, while you guys are getting, woke and getting everything set up, we usually start the show by talking about what was the week in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes.
I wish I could get it to come up.
Okay.
Bit of an anticlimax, wasn't it, really?
Thank you for the bits. All right. They're playing the bits there. It was the old McVenom. I wish we could find a way to get it up. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, so everyone's cool. Everyone's slowly creeping into the chat. All right. The week that was in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes with Ranger and Nev. Well, we had a couple things. We have Hard Node.
Conquest.
And Conquest. And then, let's start with that, because we've also got Bo-Katan, but I was letting everything sink back in, like, what happened this week? I'm like, I don't know, Conquest.
Hello? Hello? Is there anyone in there, McFly?
What do you want to discuss first? You want to discuss hard node Conquest, or you want to hit up Bo-Katan?
Yeah, no. We can talk about hard node Conquest. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I have already cleared it. I just have to go back in and just get some of the feats done to get the loot box.
Mm-hmm. It was easier than I thought it was going to be. I'll give it that.
Yeah, there were challenges. I mean, you had to have certain teams to be more effective because of the way they set those teams up. Like Galactic Republic teams are a nightmare on that because of the mirror damage.
Yes. You have more success with the Galactic Republic teams the more deplorables you got. The more deplorables you got, the more likely you are to just go and go and go and go and go and go.
Yeah.
So you'll be, sure, your entire squad will end up in the red, but you'll win because the damage reflection isn't allowed to kill you. So as long as you get to keep going every single go until the entire team is dead, the damage reflections are relevant. But if you haven't got, if you've got crappy data discs, you're gonna have a bad day.
Well, I mean, the Relic Force is where you start off with. It wasn't that bad before I could get any really good disc. It wasn't that bad, and I think they had it balanced just right. Because by the time you get to Relic 8, you had to have those certain disc or a lot of discs to be able to do certain things. And I was using the cooldown, the offense turn meter one, and then I had the leadership one where, if I wanted to have that powerful leader, like Jedi Master Luke or something go bananas, I would. But there was a few, and I mean quite a few of those battles where I went in there with a team like, oh shit, Old Republic just tore me apart, and I had to go back in and do it again. Like, oh my god.
Ripped you an asshole.
Oh, did they ever, man. But I think it's balanced pretty well. It's hard enough. You have to really think about what team you're going to use. I think if you have more diversity in your lineup, the easier it is because you can think about like what you're going to use. You have to be able to have a diverse squad because there's certain teams you just have to use. I tried to use Vader one. Like I was trying to do the thing where I just use one team through, and I was like, no, Vader just got destroyed. That's not going to work. So I had to think about like what are we going to go in there with. So I think having Galactic Legends it makes it pretty solid especially once you start getting the disc. Because there was a couple times where like, oh no, I just got my ass kicked. All right, you're getting Kylo, you son of a bitch. Killed my characters. I'll teach you a lesson. So, wait,
because it's horrible because you lose. Because when it goes wrong, you're like, crap. I've lost 15 energy. I've got to wait for 15 energy. It's not like because you don't lose. If you lose, you don't lose stamina, so you don't have to worry about.
No,
there's no stamina issue. But it's an energy generation, and because it generates at the same speed as Cantina energy, it's going to take a while for it to regenerate. So
that's right.
It's frustrating when you lose one because you're like, crap, that's 15 energy. That's one match, that I have to grind out and wait out. But but no, I will. I'm doing some bits and I'm kind of like I'm using these exhibitions to kind of put together low end or medium level teams. And strategies for it. And right now, you can get to the second box of hard node with 3 teams that most people have got by the 4 mil point, which is a Darth Revan team, a Jedi Knight Revan team, with or without JKL, that's pretty much optional, and a CLS team. I've got through Sector 1 and enough of Sector 2 to get to the second box. Which is more than you would get if you just took the same roster through normal from Sector 1 to 5. I'm kind of wishing I didn't because I thought I would do it, be objective to try and figure out objectively how hard normal and hard was by having 2 accounts with the exact same top 80 GP, do one on normal and one on hard. And I left my main on the normal because I was worried I wasn't going to get to that first box on hard. I was really, really worried it was going to be super hard. And it wasn't super hard. It really, really wasn't. I don't expect to get beyond the 3rd or the 4th box with the account because it's only it's like a 4.5 mil GP account. So it doesn't have a massive top 80.
Right.
But the rewards for reaching like that third or fourth box in hard are better than in normal. Plus, the scavenger nodes are much, much better in hard than they are in normal.
Yes, they are.
Scavenger, because you've got all that relic material on the on them scavenger nodes that you just do not get on the scavenger nodes in normal. So that's one massive advantage. I mean, yeah, sure, you can blow 500 currency on 4 shards, which I think's ridiculous.
Oh, I think it's fine.
I was expecting it to be around 450. I genuinely thought it was going to be like 450. I thought it was going to be 450 for 5 shards, and they went 500 for 4 shards. So yeah, I thought that they were going to do it along similar lines to get 1 and get 2.
Yeah, it was fine for me. I'm just like, okay, you know, that is what it is. I was just like, okay, yeah. Mm-hmm. You know, whatever. Also, reminder, guys, in the chat. Ram Bam just called us. We have the Arnold call going on. Thank you for the call in the bits. Ram Bam donated $5 in super chat. Said, I would totally pop in, but I'm working on a new setup, so my office is a disaster. I hope to pop in here more regularly, though. I understand that. We've all done that. I'm actually going to be changing up my setup again here soon.
Yeah, I have to change my setup, and yeah, I empathize with you, Rob. Everything just goes everywhere while you're kind of like moving things around. It's a nightmare. Yep.
Now, also, guys, remember, if you have a question in the chat, please make sure you put the word question in front of your actual question statement. If you have anything you want to ask us, make sure you do that, because I will not see it, because once I go into Nightbot, I really won't be seeing the chat as much. So the only thing I'll have is, you know, I mean, I pop in and look at chat real quick once in a while, but I'll be mainly focusing on the questions and getting those questions out. So get your questions in, and I can see we've already got some questions in, so that is good. So that being said, Bo-Katan came out this week. I welled and got her. I suffered through the Swevens because that's my girl. I like her kid a lot. You've had a chance to look at her. What do you think there, Nev?
Well, from the people wailing on her,
it's Friday.
It's not the best marquee that we've had of all the recent marquees.
They ain't rolling no
Hold on. Ram Bam just Grande mommed us. Oh God, he's donating the cheers and the bits like crazy. So go ahead and continue on, Nev.
Yeah, no, I just think that I think she's been completely and utterly disrespected by CG. She deserves better. I mean, here's the thing. Yes, she's a marquee, so what she's got from a marquee point of view is fine. You know, put her in a squad of Mandalorians. They could do other bounty hunters. I think I saw Arnold do a Treya team as Scoundrels. Sorry, yeah. I think I saw Arnold do a Treya team with her as well. I mean, like you see Treya a lot on defense in, you know, anything. So a B plus team or a B minus or a C plus is kind of like the footage that I've seen from those people that like proper wailed on her and relicked her, and then put her in a team with other, you know, relic characters. And I just think she should have been. I was expecting to see her as a epic confrontation. They could have at least given her a minimum legendary status. I mean, there was enough characters. There was enough Mandalorians that they could have said, right, just use these 5 Mandos, and you'll get your set. You know, you get a 7-star legendary Bo-Katan. That would have been more exciting. That would have been more apt for Bo-Katan. Instead, we got a marquee, and at the moment, she's. I mean, I'm just disappointed that they haven't made her a little bit more OP. Yeah.
I think she's going to be pretty OP, mainly because her damage is through the damn roof. I mean, her relic damage base, no mods, is 7,000.
Mm-hmm.
That's insane. That's more than Jedi Knight Luke. So that little lady hits hard. Now, am I disappointed that she's not a legendary? Yeah. I like to see her status up a little bit higher, but I think the kit and the kit that I'm going to be using her on, I'm still kind of debating. Me and Thane, my JC Whisperer, we're going to use her in 2 different teams. I think she's going to be pretty nice. especially that damage and stuff that she does with her kit, it's pretty gross. She hits like a metric ton, man. And she's got some really nice abilities in her kit that are going to be great. I think the expectation that I think we have is that we think that every character that comes out has to be like meta or OP or stuff like that. And both you and I both do GAC, and having you have your meta characters, but you also have those teams in the background that you need to really trip up your opponent or be able to clear your opponent and to do certain things. So, I think she's going to be super nice as a piece that you put on either a full Mando team. We haven't really figured out what that is. I think Thing's going to run her a full Mando team. I'm going to be running her under a Scoundrel team. But we really can't really test her in GSC till 5s comes. I am going to use her in 3s on a certain team that I think is going to be disgusting. Yeah, I've got an evil plan. It's evil. But yeah, I thought that, was I disappointed a little bit? But then again, I think they've made her more accessible to people to get her as a marquee instead of making it a legendary event where you had to get like every single Mando character, because that would have been brutal. Because yeah, you could have done it where you had to get Beskar Mando or in the armor and stuff like that. But not only getting those characters to 7-star a nightmare, but also the gearing that you have to do for all those characters, including IG and Quill and stuff, to get Beskar Mando. It's rough, man. It is. I mean, Beskar Mando's gear alone is stupid. It's one of the dumbest. It's the most brutal gearing I've ever done for a character at that level. It's really atrocious. So
is that BAM? Did you say?
What's that?
Gearing BAM's atrocious.
Oh yeah, BAM's awful, man. It's the worst gear in the game. Seriously, me and Loki looked at that gear and we're like, what?
Damn.
It's like, oh my god, how many car attacks, stun guns, join it. What the So yeah, not the best, and armor was not too great either. So I mean, the fact that you can get Bo-Katan, you don't have to go through all that headache and stuff unless you want to create that team. I think it's cool. But yeah, she's been a legendary. I think so. She's been in through all the series. She's been in through since Clone Wars to
Clone Wars, Rebels, Mandalorian.
Yeah, I mean she's been there around the block a few times and done some been in some pretty epic things. So it is what it is. But if you're well on Bo-Katan, I think it's a later game character. I think you don't well on her unless you really like her. I mean, it's my girl Kate Saka. How can I say no? But you need to have the team to do it. You need to have that high Mando team or a Scoundrel team would be really good with her. But I think that the thing is, so you look at the requirements that with like Django. Don't take Django off your bounty hunters. I'm not doing that myself. So something like BAM, and we're kind of debating, but I know Sabine, BAM, Candace. They changed Sabine and Candace's kit just to include everything. Her, and then one more, maybe goes Gar Suxton or Super Pooper Commando. I know those are the two characters that Thane's looking at to use as the team. So we'll see how it plays out. We're going to test it out for everybody, and see how it actually works in the long run to see where she's viable, how viable is she. I just know when I saw that damage on her, she's slow. She's not super slow. She's mid-tier range on her speed, but what you don't have in speed, and you can get her pretty decently fast, but it's that damage. Good Lord. I saw that, and the first thing me and Loki noticed was that damage, which is absolutely ridiculous. And she calls and assists and stuff a lot to get the team going the right way. Her base damage is just stupid. So we'll see how it all plays out. We're gonna have to mess around with her, but we do that with a lot of marquees. I remember too, Cara Dune, when she first came out, she didn't really have a home. We didn't know really what to do with her. And then Mon Mothma came out.
And then
And then all of a sudden, Cara was ridiculous.
Cara's ridiculous on the Mon Mothma, because So I mean, especially when she gets the potency up, and it's like die, revive, die, revive, die, revive. It just wastes like one turn from your entire opponent's team, and then you're like, I'm still here.
Yep.
Can't get rid of me. There's a bit of foreboding there, I think.
I
Can't
know.
get rid of me.
No. All right, so let's do some Q&A. Let's get into it. Here we go. We're started off. All right, let's start off with, well. Oh, boy. Ram Bam has a question.
Mm-hmm.
Nev, I'm going to give you one guess about what the question pertains to.
Is it about Mace Windu?
It is about Mace Windu.
Oh my God! Wow, I'm just so good.
Ram Bam,
Nevtradamus.
Yeah, Ram Bam says, when will Mace Windu get his rework? I'm going to respond with like I always do. Soon, TM. There you go. I have no earthly idea. I don't think he ever is getting another one, but you keep living that dream, Ram Bam. You keep hope alive for the rest of us, because
Don't stop believing. Hold on to that feeling.
Oh boy. All right. Well, that's a great way to start the Jedi Academy on our first Q&A question. That's that. All right. What else? 73 says, what character will the season 1 Mando team unlock? Seems they have been pushing that group to be 7-star for everyone for a while now. I don't think they are. We're already in the season 2 characters. I mean, because if you think about it, to the season 1 characters was for
season 1
Beskar.
characters unlocked BAM. Yeah.
Yeah. So season 2 is going to be really what it is: Dark Trooper, Bo-Katan. Those are the only 2 I can think from season 2 right now.
That Dark Trooper.
Yeah, I said Dark Trooper. So Dark Trooper, yeah, and Bo-Katan, but I don't.
We do have the. I mean, obviously from the data mine that Sig confirmed, it looks like we've got another 6 characters coming. So 2 of those characters will be probably the ancillary characters from season 2 that were with Bo-Katan. Those 2 Mandalorians.
Could be those, or more Imperial Remnant. It could be those.
And then more. I think we'll get those 2 Mandalorians, and then that leaves 4 left. I think 2 of those will definitely be the female officer on the bridge of Gideon's capital ship.
Possibly.
Maybe another type of stormtrooper. I think Fennec Shan. And maybe what's his face? Mayfeld.
Yeah, he could be running. I don't know. I mean, we also got Bad Batch coming soon. So
I think Bad Batch will be a whole set of marquees. I think we'll get 5. I think we'll get all of them either mid-season or end season of the Bad Batch, because obviously the Bad Batch starts on May the 4th. That's going to run for 12 weeks. So I think that we'll get all 5 of the Bad Batch. I think we'll get all 5 of the Bad Batch, and then another character on top of that.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it plays out.
We'll see.
We'll see how it plays out. So we'll wait on bated breath or what else? 73. Andrew Copta, what's going on, Andrew? I haven't seen that name in a while. Oh, that's the name I've not heard since well before you were born. Andrew says, question for Galactic Conquest. Has anyone mapped the minimum speed needed to go first in each battle? I know of no such thing, and not even looked at that. I'm trying to think on top of my head. No, I don't think anybody's mapped that out. I mean, I've just been going in there with my characters modded the way that they were, and most times, and I've got really good mods, I would go first. There was that one. It gets funky though. See, the thing about Conquest, it gets funky after you do one battle. Then your stats start to change because the stamina starts dropping. You know, so that's why you need those speed and turn meter mods, so you can make sure that as your stamina starts going down the tube, that you're still able to get off first, because that can make a huge difference. Because some of those teams, like the All Republic team, they get off first, you're in big trouble. They will wipe you out without
breaking a sweat. Yeah,
I mean, instantly you'll do. So I don't think anybody has. If anybody knows of anything, you can pop that into chat, just say where it is and stuff like that. But if you have any information for Andrew, put it in there, or if not, if you want to go put it in our Discord, the Discord link's down below. Just put in the general, tag Andrew, and let him know what it is. But yeah, I don't know of anything where someone's actually looked at the speeds. I don't know how you would. I mean, I guess you'd have to see what's the minimum speed. You'd have to take your time to go into Conquest to see what would be the minimum speed you would need. Like moving mods and speed. I mean, that's something I'm not doing anytime soon. So
yeah, no, I'm definitely not doing that. Although there has been there's a great little there's a great little beta on hot utils at the moment, which involves the data disks. So there's a great little beta on hot utils at the moment. I got the notification yesterday. So you go into you log into your hot utils, and there are all your data disks. So you can see them all, and you can change them around and then apply them. So when you then go into the game, that's it. They're there. They're ready. They're ready to rock and roll. So you could be logged in to galactic challenges, Conquest, and you've got all your data cards, and you can't see them all. You've got some on the left, some on the right. You don't know what's the best method to do it. So you can like pop into hot utils, see all your data disks, and go, right, okay, this team's going first. I need some defensive buffs because I'm just not fast enough to go first. I just need to survive so that you can start an infinite loop on them regarding turn meter or buffs or something like that. So it's still only the second exhibition. So the theory crafters are learning what different squads do with different data disks, and I think eventually the speed won't matter, and it'll be more a case of just making sure that you've got what's necessary for your team to survive the initial skirmish from your opposition, and then having the data disks so that as soon as you start attacking, you're applying the debuffs on them, you're applying the buffs on yourself, and you're getting turn meter and health and protection back, so that once you've got into the full swing of things, you can regenerate and get your squad back to normal. So I don't really concern myself with being able to go first in Conquest, more having all 5 survive long enough so that when I start fighting, my data disks, bring the team back to life, sort of thing.
There you go. All right. Kane77 question: who should I will on first? Bo, Dark Troopers, or Kit Fisto? They're at the bottom. Well, let's just take one off the board. Kit Fisto is out. Do not do that. No. Now, Bo or Dark Trooper depends on how your roster looks. If you have all your Imperial Troopers, both of these characters are additional pieces that just make the teams better, but they're extra. You don't need them to be really good with those teams, right? I mean, I've got the full BAM team that I've been running without Bo-Katan. She's just an additional piece that if I want to just go Mandalore instead of just, the Scoundrel team with BAM Lead with IG and Quill and stuff like that. Dark Trooper is an amazing character, especially at the tail end, that you can throw on your team of troopers and take out C teams and stuff like that. He's really, really stupid good. However, you have to also look, where are my other characters? If you don't have any of a lot of the Mandalorian characters and stuff like that, then maybe not Bo-Katan. However, if you don't have your Imperial Troopers locked and loaded, then maybe you don't go Dark Trooper. I mean, that's one of the things that's going to reflect like which one you should do. Now, if you have got both, they're both really good. If you want another counter for C, for your team, you don't need Dark Trooper, because the Imperial Troopers, as they are constructed right now, will kick the shit out of C. I know, because I just did it last GC. I mean, it's silly. Imperial Troopers are really a powerhouse team now. But if you want to make it just a little bit easier and have some flexibility, like, with who you run, having Dark Trooper on your Imperial Troopers is the way to go. Now, for Bo-Katan, we have some ideas of where she'll be effective and who she's going to be effective against and things of that nature. But we haven't really had a chance to really dive in and get it. So It's really what your roster dictates, and what you want to do, and how that will help you in GAC and other stuff, right? So for me, I haven't done Dark Trooper. I went for Bo-Katan. I don't need Dark Trooper right now at the moment. I mean, my Imperial Troopers are solid the way they are. So, I'm just going to do Bo-Katan and then rock and roll with it because my troopers are good enough that they can take out a lot of stuff. Do you have any thoughts on this?
Well, I would say you want to keep your eye on, especially regarding these characters for GAC. Keep your eye on Zareth because he did wail on those characters. He wailed on Bo as well, and he's definitely one of the more analytical competitors when it comes to Grand Arena Championship. So he's really going to be looking to see where he gets the best out of that character in Grand Arena. He's not going to be looking at any other mode. I mean, yeah, sure, he is going to be, glancing at the other modes, but he's going to be wanting to see where that character best serves him in Grand Arena. So I would just keep an eye on. I would definitely keep an eye on Zareth because it's not so much that he'll be theory crafting with it, but he'll be he'll have 3v3 rocking. So you're going to see him use that. Use those characters on defense and on offense. So, if it serves him well, it's probably going to serve you well.
Yeah, I mean, Dark Trooper is really good because he can help you take out a lot. Actually, he can actually take out a lot of Galactic Legends. I think the only one he can't do is Luke because you will get slaughtered. I think, depending on which their lineup and stuff. But yeah, Dark Trooper's a really good one. We're still up in the air on Bo, so we'll see what happens. All right. Let's see here. What else? 3 question. Does it seem like there are more critical failures happening in PvP? My Relic 8 SLKR got slaughtered by Relic 7C. My Relic 8 Jedi Master Luke by a Relic 7 SLKR, etc. And have to go in again to beat them, and it's easy. That's a modding thing, man. I mean,
yeah, it's going to be a modding thing.
That's a mod thing, man. I mean, yeah, Galactic Legends versus Galactic Legends, you still have to have the right speed and mods on your characters and stuff to make the team effective. With certain turn orders and who's going first and who's doing what when. It could also be bad RNG. I don't think that I've seen any RNG that just made me, shake my head. Yeah, once in a while we get a dodge, but really the RNG that's really sucked the most in PvP, especially in GAC, has been the ships.
Yeah.
Good God in heaven, they did something, man. They had to have. There's no earthly way that the amount of dodges have exponentially gone up. And you mean to tell me they didn't do anything to the algorithm or anything like that? Mm-hmm. No, I don't think so.
Yeah, the RNG dodge gods are being... They were absolute assholes in last month's GAC.
Oh God, they were bad.
They were really bad.
But I'll give you an example. Like my Jedi Knight Luke counter versus SLKR, even at Relic 8. What I noticed is that it was a 50-50 proposition where it would basically get down to my Jedi Knight Luke versus his Kylo Ren. Sometimes I would win, sometimes I wouldn't. I didn't really care because I'm like, okay, let's go and then clean this up. But what I figured out is I was only running a Gear 12 Bastila, and that's one of the things I'm going to get corrected is have her relicked because it makes a big difference in her damage, her everything, her stats made a big difference because there's a couple times where you do the call and assist, you should have killed someone, you didn't, and that character was still left up like Hux or something, and I'm like, and so I noticed that was one of the issues on my team when I was using it. So sometimes it's how you have your characters modded for the Galactic Legends and stuff like that. So take a look at your mods. So usually when you're having issues, it's almost the majority of the time it's modding, right? If you know this counter can beat this counter, and then it doesn't, you need to take a step back, look at your mods, and say, okay, why didn't this work? And then, like I just did for the example of Jedi Knight Luke, it's like, okay, Basilisk got to get stronger. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I got to get a relic for her to make this team as effective as possible, so I'm not 50-50 in it. Anything you want to add to that, Dev?
No, I'm good. Yeah, you got that. I think we covered that nicely.
All right. Luke Pro or Luck Pro. It's Luck.
Luck.
Okay. Can it be luck without the C? I don't know. English is a strange language.
Well, no, I mean, grammatically, no, but we're talking about, pseudonyms and,
Sure.
aliases.
Yeah.
So you say it how you see it, don't you?
Yeah, and I'm an idiot, so it
Names.
helps. Yeah, it helps. Luck Pro, we'll go with Luck Pro. It says, question, how would you mod gas, defense or prot, or offense or prot, standard 501st? I mean, I've said this religiously. You can tell me how you have yours modded if you have a different Nev. With gas, you want protection and you want offense. Any defensive secondaries are great. My main focus is to make him a beefy boy, which I do. I can tell you what I've got on him right now while we're looking at it, but it's straight up. I'm running on gas. Let me find him real quick. I'll tell you right now. So I'm running an offense set and a defense set on my gas. And you can look this up, Luck, on my GG profile. Just look me up. Just type in Google SWGOH.gg and then put my name, Ranger J1999, and you can look at my gas. Now I've got him at total with protection and health, like I don't know, 185, 190,000. You're not really too worried about speed, but yeah, you want him beefy, and you want him to be able to take hits, and then you want him, because he's going to counter a lot, you want him to hit hard. That's why I went offense. So my main primaries on the mods were protection, but the secondaries I was looking for offense. On top of the offense sets, those are the kind of stats I'm looking for. Like the circle, the cross, for example, or protection, that kind of thing, and then running offensive secondaries as best I can find them. If I get the double offense, with the protection primary. Easier said than done. You may not have the mods necessary to do that, but ideally that's what you want to do. My gas he's a phenomenal. He's such a good character, especially if you mod him correctly. And he hits hard. I mean, when he counters, he's going to tear someone up. We've seen it time and time again when I've done the JC. Like, gas, just wrecks, man. And if you mod him right, he wrecks. Anything you want to add there, Ned?
Well, I mean, I don't have gas yet. But,
not yet.
Not yet. I don't have gas yet.
Almost
I went JKL on my main account and my main alt. I went down the going for JKL route because for me it was just easier. And JKL is a very, very easy gas counter. So I figured, why go for gas when it would just be easier to go for JKL? So I went down. So I don't have gas yet, but yeah, when I do get him in the hopefully not too distant future, I'll be getting JML first. I'll be getting JML before I get gas as well. Mm-hmm. When I do eventually get him, I'm gonna go with the community and probably what Grand Ivory tells me to mod him, because I tend to trust what Grand Ivory says, because the guy that runs the Grand Ivory site, tends to go for those fixed sets based off what the majority of the community does. So, he kind of puts his feelers out there. Oh, okay, offense and protection. Yep, no worries. We'll make sure that, when people go for the auto on Grand Ivory, that, that's the kind of set that it gets put with. But he's from an offense point of view, and like you said, from speed, he doesn't need to be speedy because of the whole counter thing. It's a bit like with GMY in a Jedi team. You don't need him fast because you're putting him in a Jedi team. Well, everybody calls the assists. So,
right, that's when they get turn meter, right? So for the gas team, it's Rex. He does his thing. You get tenacity. Everyone gets their return meter and speed up, and then you're off to the races, just like the Jedi team. Jedi and Revan's your fastest. He marks somebody. Yoda's gonna get called assist. He gets turn meter when he does his basic, and then that's how you get Yoda going. So
exactly, yeah. So yeah, I would definitely concur with the whole. You don't really need to concentrate on speed as much. It's more about the protection, so that you get him nice and beefy, as you said, and then obviously as much offense as possible for the counters and the initial hits.
You want him to make them suffer for hitting him, and you want him to be able to keep doing that too for as long as possible, because if he's countering and he's still up, you're winning the match. Speaking of winning the match, look who it is. He finally woke up. It's Sir Loki, the lightsaber builder.
No, I've been awake, man.
You son of a! Why weren't you here?
I've had internet problems.
Oh.
No, we had a blackout, a brownout earlier this morning. So
first world problems.
Yeah. Really
yeah, it happens.
These things happen. I mean,
Yeah.
I blame Finn. Well, we're talking about gas and how we mod them and stuff. I mean, you want to jump in on anything we've been saying, Loki, or you want to move on to another?
Mod 'em for what?
Just in general.
Yeah, because there's, I don't know.
Okay, look, he's not.
77 is 52 degrees here. Yeah.
Yeah, look, he's focused on other things. Okay, we'll move on.
We'll move on.
No, I was reading the chat. No. Everybody's saying hi to me in the chat. I was saying hi in the chat.
Oh, well, go ahead. Give your greeting. Go ahead and knock it out.
So, gas. I mean, I guess it depends what you're going to use them for. There's like tanky gas. There's like fast gas. There's, nuke 'em, right? For the nuke 'em.
So for this is the 501st team.
So 501st, if you put the 501st on defense, I like to make him tanky as crap, so he can take all the hits. But if I use him on offense, then probably nuke 'em modding is the way I like to do it. So it's I don't know, just off the top of my head, it's on about 250 speed or so, about 9,400 offense and decent protection. And then if you're going to use them in like JML or something, right, you just make him like 280, 300 speed and have him go fast. So he gets a lot of hits in. But it just depends what you're going to use him for. I mean, like Lightside GOTB, the gas mission, you want him tanky so he can survive. So it's him and Ahsoka. Right. It just depends what you're going to use him for. I personally like Nukem modding. Like I like having him as a flex spot for offense. So you can use him in a Ray team. You can use him with 501st. You can use him with JML. It just depends. So, very cool tune still. There's like 3 or 4 ways to mod them and you can use them in different ways. But, again, it all depends what you're going to use them for.
All right. Let's get to some more questions and keep your questions coming in, folks. King77, best teams for IG and Quill without BAM. Mon Money? No, you're not going to run it with Mon Money. What do you think, Lucky? Best place to use IG and Quill without BAM.
Ray?
And 3 is
Pretty
definitely, yeah.
Yeah. Are we talking 3v3? Sorry.
Well, 3v3, but let's say 3v3 for now. But like say you want to create a 5v5 team. You've got IG and Quill. You don't have BAM yet. Who are you going to use those 2 characters with? And what team would you put together with them?
Yeah, it's really just Ray. Or you can... I've seen guys, they don't even run a leader. They just run Nest. So it's like Nest lead with...
Right.
Quill and IG. It's kind of annoying. Any scoundrel, because I mean Quill's like Stormtrooper Han 2.0, where you want him to go first and then he'll wave his hand and give everybody else turn meter. So that's what he does. And he could speed up any scoundrel. So any annoying scoundrel lead or a tune like Nest will pretty much go first. And that's what you want to do. And then IG-11's going to heal, and then Quill's going to heal, and then they're going to spread a bunch of dots and burning and all that. So it's an annoying duo, and you pair them with just another annoying scoundrel, and I think you got a good, decent team for 3v3.
All right.
Definitely defense, though.
Let's get to the next question. Kane has another question. Says, sorry I have a few today, Kane. You keep them coming, buddy. Says, will IPD work well in a Moff G team? I can assume it's Moff Gideon.
I've not seen anybody use IPD.
I haven't. What about you, Loki? Even thinking about IPD with a Moff Gideon kind of team? I'm really.
I mean, you can. I mean, not in 3v3s, but
let's just say 5s. Let's not think 3s. Let's just think 5.
You use him in the Vader team.
You can. He's
the Vader counter to Rey or the Vader counter to SLKR or whatever. He works good. He's there for a mass dispel, so you can get through all the tanks.
Yeah.
And if you land target lock, then the tanks can't regain taunt. So that's basically what he's there for. He's just there to run a support.
I mean, I could see this team with the Sith Triumvirate along with
Be right
IPD,
back.
and Moff Gideon, as I like to call them, working really effectively because the trade team's going to shut them down, and Gideon's going to shut them down, and then IPD can remove any of those pesky taunts and stuff and do what he does. As you said, you can use him on the Vader team, but that doesn't have Gideon on that team. I know it'd have to be a team you'd have to create, but you're not running with troopers. So let's say you don't use Gideon there. So who would you go with? Gideon, IPD. I mean, I guess you could throw him on the Vader team. You went Palpatine, Vader, Thrawn, Gideon, and IPD. But that's the only thing I can really think of that you'd be effective with IPD, Loki.
Well, I mean, IPD is he's there to do the mass dispel. That's why he's there.
That's it.
So yeah, you're not going to blow him up.
No, not anymore.
He has he has synergy with Piet or Moff Gideon, or I mean, he's still Empire, right? So
yeah.
he's got Empire synergies. I mean, there's a lot of variants with the Vader counter to Rey. So I mean, you can run, Grand Admiral Thrawn lead or Vader lead, and then you have your mass dispeller, and then you have what else you got? I mean, you can run super safe and run like GBA or Treya or something like that. Like I mean, there's a lot of options.
Okay.
Watt's obviously got to be in there, but it's he's a pretty flexible tune, I think.
Yeah, I don't really. He's been Gear 11 for a long time. I just don't use him. I mean, you could try, but yeah. All right, Ziglets hates his question. Will the 80s Ewoks movies be hitting Disney Plus? Will we see more Ewoks? I hope not. And I hope those movies never appear on there because they're awful. They're really bad. They're so bad. Oh, boy, oh, boy. I don't know if you seen those, Loki. When I was a kid, they came out, and we were all excited because, it was after Return of the Jedi. We were kind of jonesing for any Star Wars stuff we could get. And that was
right.
That was what we got, and it was. As a kid, I remember even as a kid, like, okay, this is okay, I guess, but it was. Ugh.
Right.
Ugh. No, please don't do that, Disney. Just don't do that to us. What else? Any three says question: does Relic IG-11 work with Gear 12 Quill? Okay, and vice versa. Which would you Relic first between the two? All right, you got two characters, IG-11. Loki or Quill, who you taking up first?
I think you take Quill up first.
Explain why.
You're talking gear wise, right? I mean, you need
just relics. This is relics.
Well, okay, so relics.
If you're gonna take one or the other up first, yeah. Who would you relic first between the two?
If you're talking straight relics, maybe IG, so he's tanky. But I was saying you need as much gear and all that on Quill, so he can get his speed up to R.
I think you need Quill. I would go with Quill. You need that extra speed, and you want him to go first so he can start doing his thing.
Yeah, but I mean, at Relics, he's not going to get speed anymore, right? So it's
I'm talking about Relic 0. But I mean, you take him to Relic 3, leave him there. But IG even at Gear 12 is pretty tanky, so you can kind of get away with him being at Gear 11, 12. Put good mods on him, but yeah, Quill, that 22 plus speed. I mean, he's a fast character anyway, but if you get that extra speed on him and get him relics. One, it makes him more survivable, and two, it gets that speed where you need him because you really want Quill to go first and do his nastiness. So, okay. Stonewall says, has anyone on the panel gotten to play the Crankor since the change, and if so, your thoughts? I have not. Loki, have you had a chance to do the Crankor raid since?
Yeah, it's super easy now.
Yeah, you just go in, do your damage for each phase for the guild, and move on, right?
I mean, unless you got tryhards in your guild that just want to dump their whole roster into phase 1, because people could do that. But it's easy, man. They made it super easy. What it is when you re-enter with each team now, the Rancor's buffs reset to 0. So I mean, you got Vader phase 1 now? You want to maybe do just one culling blade now and just keep stacking dots until you take them down about. Because I think it's after 2%, after 2% health, he gets a bunch of buffs, or the raid boss buffs itself, right? With that thing, and it's a lot. It's scaled a lot, but you don't really feel it or see it. Not like before. But there's just for example, you can take all the existing teams in, they just do a little bit less damage, but when you re-enter, like you can take Vader in first, do your 9-10%. It used to be 20%, right? Then after that, you can take a Padme team in and do another 4%. And then after that, you can take something else in and do another 3%. You can just keep doing that. So the Rancor and the raid bosses don't save they're not buffed anymore. Remember, we were scared to hit the 20% mark every single time. So there's none of that anymore, which is good. But at the same time, they made it easier. Especially phase 4. Phase 4 goes down in I was in it and literally the raid was done in 10 minutes from start to finish. So it's definitely done its job with, there's no more raid management. You don't have to worry about early posting. You don't have to worry about any of that anymore. But the side effect of that now is it goes down so fast that you got to be there. So your officers basically have to announce, hey, we're launching the raid here. It's basically a Zerg is what it is. It's not
FC
not
Nova
like
did
what
it.
it was.
FC Nova did it in 19 minutes. I was watching the playbook. Playbook was doing some light side GOTB. And he kind of all right, oh, brilliant, the raid's being launched. And then literally he went back to look and it was done. He's like, they started it 18 minutes ago. Mm-hmm. So he didn't even get a go. He did not even get a go. The rest of his guild destroyed it inside of 20 minutes. So while I agree with what you're saying, it's been made easy for Whale and Kraken guilds because they didn't reduce the requirements for entry, which I was really hoping they would do. I was really hoping that they reduce it from Relic 5 to Relic 3, just so that the lesser guilds can at least get in there and start working on it. So the guilds that still don't have masses and masses of squads that are Relic 5 and above are still going to have problems with it. So
true.
So guilds that couldn't do it before because of the lack of numbers are still not going to be able to do it. But all of the Whale and the Kraken guilds, it's super easy for them now. So the changes, while advantageous for some, make very little difference for everybody that couldn't do it before, that couldn't get past. If you're in a guild that couldn't get past P1, you're still not going to be able to get past P1.
All right,
but we'll see. I'm in a guild that can't get past P1, so we'll see if these changes make it easier for us to get past P1 because most people.
So one thing too, it makes a lot of the B and C teams better. That's what it did. You don't have to worry about, remember before P4 when you're zerging and if you get in at about 30%, you're lucky to get one hit off, with something.
Your rebels or something like that.
So you have a shot at least doing 1% with a B or C team, right? Which is pretty good. But to Nev's point, yes, you're correct that you're relying on your roster or your other guildmates to have a bunch of Relic 5 tunes, which in turn does make it harder, I think, for a lot of the other guilds. Not the Whaley guilds, not the top, 50 guilds, but on the same note, though, I really feel like, you can now help a lot of the newer players with this. As long as they have one Relic 5 tune, I feel like you could probably complete this raid with 5 people. And I'm being serious about this. I can totally see people dumping their whole roster for phase 1. You got one player that does it. Then you got the second player dumps their whole roster for phase 2 and so forth. So, to help the lower level players, as long as they have one Relic 5 tune, you can literally go in there with 5 to 8 people, right? Whales, right? And you can carry the lower level player. And then they can get the top 8 or top 10 rewards, right? Which is what they kind of want. And that's still pretty good because now you're getting complete pieces. You're starting to collect the Relic 8 pieces. And people, I think people were doing that before, but now I think you're going to see more of that, and you're going to see probably more murking now because you're going to need more empty guilds.
Definitely,
yeah, because you have a guild of 50 whales. You can take 8 whales and go attack a vacant guild that has tickets saved up and do it that way.
Well, I mean, the murking is gonna make a lot of sense when you think about it for a lot of those high end. If you're in a whale or a kraken guild, but you've got a roster that can effectively murk and finish in the top 5 for rewards, or you can stay in your merc guild just for it and keep your fingers crossed that you're gonna finish somewhere decent, or more than likely finish in the 20s or the 30s or maybe even the 40s. Right. A lot of guys are going to think, look, the top 10 in our guild, you've got this covered. So every time, you'll find I think alliances are going to benefit from this massively. Alliances are definitely going to, because what will happen is you'll get alliances with 4 or 5 whale or kraken guilds in it, and they'll be like, look, us 5 will go merc for this guild of the alliance, we'll go merc for this guild of the alliance, and we'll go merc for this guild of the alliance. So you'll get like you said, you'll get 5 mercs from each of the top guilds going to lower guilds in that alliance every single time that there's a Crankor raid on. And nobody's going to be that fussed that the 5 mercs coming in get 1 to 5 in rewards, because they're going to be getting rewards. So while it may not be good for those, individual guilds that can't quite do the Crankor, alliances with lesser guilds are going to benefit from this massively. I'm really, really hopeful that the bigwigs in ANZGC pick up on this, because if I was one of those whales or krakens in one of the top 5 guilds, and every Crankor, I might miss it, or I'm going to finish in the 20s or the 30s or the 40s. I'm thinking, this ain't happening. Let's coordinate with all of the lesser guilds, and I will go and merc in one of those lesser guilds, and every single time there's a Crankor on, I'm getting top 5. So it's going to be interesting to see how the alliances coordinate themselves to assist the lesser guilds within those alliances.
You bring up a good point too, because, we're all, even for me, right? I get locked out every week now, because I obviously hit the limit on completing Crankor, but doesn't mean I can't go to another guild and help them as well, right? Mm-hmm. So I mean, you can, like what you said, Nev, you can have your whales in your alliances, go help, even though they're locked out. Yeah, they won't get rewards, but they can obviously help and help the other lower level players to get the rewards. And if you have 1 or 2 whales in the top 8, let them drop off a little bit, then so be it. It still helps about 6 or 7 people, right, to get top 10. Mm-hmm. So it's totally worth it. And I mean,
those whales and those krakens are going to think it's definitely worth it, because if they go and merc for a few months in a guild where they are guaranteed to finish in the top 5, they're going to benefit from those top 5 rewards every single Crankor. Whereas in their guild, I mean, yeah, sure, they can, when it comes to GOTB, all they got to do is pop back to their guild. So that they can do the GOTB to get the better rewards in their original guild. And then, once the GOTB is done and dusted, they come back. Because, that nobody cares about the other rewards for the other raids, because, that's not what you're really concerned about. And those whales and krakens are going to get, top 5 in a Sith raid, anyway. So all they're really going to be concerned about in their main guild will be GOTB. I don't even think that they'd be that fussed or that worried about territory wars, because they would rather sacrifice the rewards that they're going to get in territory wars for the rewards that they'll definitely get as top 5 finishers in the Crankor. So I think, once people kind of suss this out, and once the whales and kraken guilds in alliances get this sussed out, you'll see a massive redistribution and reorganization of the alliances, so that every single person in the top 5 guilds of every single alliance redistribute themselves to lower guilds, so that they get top 5 rewards from the Crankor every single time it runs.
All right, let's go to the next question. Nathan H's question: how did you mod the Night Sisters with Spirit as the 5th? I don't know, Nev. Do you even use your Night Sisters?
I use my Night Sisters. I use my Night Sisters on defense. I only use my Night Sisters for GAC, and I use a banner stripping tactic. So I use low gear but fast Night Sisters. So I know that they're going to get one shot every single time, but they're fast enough to basically strip 3, 4, 5, 6 banners from my opponent, because they're fast, but they're so weak that my opponent destroys them before they can regen their health and protection. So I go for fast. I go for very, very speedy Night Sisters, but weak, so that they get those couple of hits in there straight away, and then they just get mollywopped by the opponent. But the opponent's not thinking, crap, I've lost protection and I've lost health, I need to get it regenerated, because they're hitting an opponent so weak that it just destroys them straight away.
Now, Loki, I know Loki just disappeared. All right, I was going to ask him about him using his Night Sisters on offense. We'll wait till he gets... Loki comes back. Come back, Loki. Oh, no. Loki's gone. Oh, no. Why not?
Oh, no. Why no?
We'll get his... because I know he likes to use Night Sisters versus Grievous on offense and stuff like that. We've seen him do it many times, so we'll ask him how he's got his modded. All right, Nathan H says, question for Ranger: what has surprised you the most hosting GA Center? Do you notice any trends about why people win or lose? Any trends? I've only hosted it for about
2 months.
2 months. And any trends? I hadn't really thought about it. And someone's mic's going... the dog's eating the mic or something. I don't know. Nev's...
Yeah. Doing on my mic lead.
Oh, no. I was like, what the hell's going on? I don't know. Trends? I mean, one thing I have noticed is that those that are doing better have set their rosters up to be more effective. Not necessarily always the case, but that's one trend I have seen. Because I've noticed that some of the players, if they run into people that are more focused on their rosters than they are, give them a run for their money. So give an example, like the Senate, man. I mean, he has, I think, 2 Galactic Legends, but he's always facing people that have 3 because of the way his roster is, and he's had a rough go of it. So that's been one trend too. I don't know, Nev, you've been doing this much longer.
I would say that the competitors that do the most research and the most scouting on their opponents are the ones that are the most successful. I have noticed that, so Yeti and more do very, very well because they take the time to scout out and really, really know what their opponent is going to do. So, when we're reporting on them, it's like 3-0, 3-0, 3-0, 3-0. I mean, Yeti's only had 1 slip up so far this season. But it definitely does. It definitely does trend. It definitely does trend towards that. And there is also a trend of when people get new GLs, they tend to have a lull in wins. Warrior's a perfect example of that. He very, very quickly got all 4 of his GLs, and his GAC suffered from that because he hasn't been able to figure out team makeups yet, and he's getting matched against people that have more experience with 4GLs than he currently has. He's got a few months experience with 4GLs, and some people have got 6 or 7 months experience with multiple GLs, because they've been able to build up the ancillary characters that go with those GLs that make them so effective.
Yep.
So that's another trend that's another trend as well. And that definitely the people that do the more research tend to be more successful competitors.
Yeah, you got to scout your opponent out. You got to kind of see what they do or like to do. Are they efficiency battle monger, or are they a defense monger? Just try to figure out how they like to play. I mean, if you can figure out your opponent and what they like and what they don't like, and then try to make them uncomfortable on defense, and then have an easier time on offense, I think that's the way to go. All right, next question. Oh, look, we were going to ask you before you stepped off. Your Night Sisters, I was telling people you like to use them on offense. Anything about the spirit or your modding that you like to use with that previous question?
I think it's Daka. Daka's the important piece of the whole team, so
Not
you got to
spirit?
get her.
Okay.
No. I mean, Spirit's super important. I think she's the second most important piece on the team. But Spirit. So I mean, if you're talking Spirit, fast potency, make her the fastest. I would try to make her faster, even with. She's got to be faster than Asajj after all the bonuses. So, get her to like 300 plus, 315, 320 if you can swing it. But you want her to dispel the taunt, or whatever they got going on. Her second ability dispels taunt and stuns, which is the important one. But we've used Night Sisters against GG. We've used Night Sisters against CLS, and it works good. I mean, they're kind of forgotten, but at the same time, the people just don't want to gear up Night Sisters anymore, and I totally get it. Like, mine are Relic 5, I think, and my Daka's Relic 7, because I feel like she's the most important piece. But because she gets the revive train going. If as soon as you get taken out, she can revive your whole team. So, but get Spirit fast. What else I monitor? I just do speed set with potency set.
Yeah.
Just so she can get the stuns and the turn meter reduction on her basic and all that going. So she's a great piece.
Okay. Question for Nev from Nathan H says, for Nev, what do you like the most and the worst about hosting GAC Center?
What I like the most is when people give us really interesting reports.
Yeah.
When someone writes something funny or amusing or interesting or self roasts, like Lazy Turtle is very, very good at roasting himself. And then the worst would be when SWGOH.GG are late doing their updates of the previous GAC, of the week's GAC, and the competitor doesn't write a report, because at that point, all we've got is literally stats. All we've got are the stats, the win-loss, the battles won, the battles lost, defensive holds, and banner score. That's literally all we've got. Because obviously one of the perks we've got with partnering with SWGOH is, even though we get we can get the stats for our competitors, but then it still takes a while for the entire scrape to be up on SWGOH.GG, because obviously they've got 500,000 competitors to get up on the website, whereas we're getting like between 60 and 70 competitors. So we get the stats before anybody else, but normally it's a few hours, and the last 3 weeks it's just not been up on SWGOH.GG before we start the show. And that's where we would normally get the data. We just look at round 1, round 2, round 3. Oh, they lost to that. They had an easy loss there, and yeah. So I would say that. Right. Okay. I think Puppy wants to go out. I'm gonna have to take.
Go for it. All right. All right, Nathan H. Question, Loki. Question for the panel: what is your favorite experience in Conquest? I had so much joy facing 5 Tuscans. What are your favorite parts about Conquest? The things that bring you joy when you're doing it, there, Loki.
That I can finish it in like the first try or something. I'm not like struggling to get those damn feats. But
I still have to do the feats, but I mean that's just a time thing more than it's a difficulty thing.
No, Conquest is fun, man.
I love Conquest.
With that. Yeah. I mean it's for the if they keep the event feats the same, I think a lot of us now kind of know what's coming. Like you need the mark is it 40 mark inflict mark 40 times or something like that,
20 times, something like that. Yeah,
it's something like that. Yeah, so you always want to have a node that has a Night Sister team. I think is the best way to do it, because you just keep marking zombie and all that, and then you can knock it out in one battle. But now knowing how the map and how the feats work and all that, so it's just being able to complete all that. Like you can get the 2-for-1s, like you can get 3-star plus the feats. That's always a good thing. That's always a good feeling. I like playing against the Nest team now. I used to just avoid it, but you know what? I've embraced it, and yeah, it feels like a sandbox mode. I mean, there's some meta teams in there that you can practice on and have fun with. So, but yeah, I mean, I take the opportunity to try to fight all the fun teams that I never tried. Like the super roided up Ewoks or something like that. Like those are always fun to fight against.
I know, right?
And the Nest team like what Nathan H said, the Tuscan team, like that's always fun. And then I just have fun with the bosses too. I think the boss fights are always fun.
Yeah, trying to get those feats are challenging, because you have to you can't do it with just one team. You have to go in with a couple teams to try to get those separate feats, right? Like no attacker one. It's like, good Lord. It's like, oh Jesus. Okay. Next question from Nathan H is: what is your advice for breaking up separatists in 3v3? I'm trying to think of what I did. Give me a second.
I know we all have to look at our histories now.
Well, I have to go look.
I completely forgot 3v3, man. Honestly, I think I ran Newt Django L3. That was a good one.
I'll tell you the two that I run defense. Let's see, Separatists. Grievous. I like Grievous, Magna, and B2. I like Newt, GBA, and B1. Those are two teams that I really like. You could go like Dooku, Django, Droidica, or something like that. Or I mean, there's a lot of flexibility with the Separatists. But I really like the Newt, GBA, B1 team. It really steals banners. It's a pain in the ass. Which is what I like. Same thing with the Grievous is just Grievous. I mean, I've seen people just do straight Geonosians. What other teams is there? Newt. Yeah, it's the other one was Newt, Dooku, and Droidica. I thought someone did once. Yeah, I saw Poggle, Droidica, and something else once. I think it was. I want to say Newt.
Yeah, people like that Poggle lead. I don't know why, but
because it makes your Droidica go first, and that dude will roll and hit the shit out of somebody. It did it to me. I was like, oh no! I was like, surprise! I was like, wait a minute.
No, I mean, Droidica has the built-in speed by itself.
Right, but I think Poggle does that thing where it gives him like something additional where it just. If you know what to expect, I wasn't expecting it. So when I went in there, I'm like, okay, I'm going to go first. I'm going to burn Droidica. Wait, why is Droidica going first? Oh no! I was like, oh no, I'm in trouble. So
now the one that's if you want to put a banner stealing like droid team or something, like you do the like, I mean, you could do what is it? Something like you can do like BB-8 Droidica, but you can put any droid leader, or you can just throw any droid in there, and that one will steal banners too, because of the Droidica will get like 24% turn meter from BB-8's unique, and then plus his speed bonus. So I mean that's kind of misleading, and then Droidica will roll up and do his thing, kind of like what you mentioned with Poggle, but yeah, any of those banner stealing Separatist teams, like, I mean, Newt and Dooku together is a nightmare, because once they get that payout train going, it's over.
Right.
And Dooku will lock you up. So Yeah, there's plenty of good separatist teams. I mean, you could put your whole front wall as a separatist team. If you know every team is a separatist team if you wanted to. There's so many of them.
All right. King77 says question off topic. Anyone do the 4-hour of the Snyder Cut? Have you seen the Snyder Cut? I have not seen the Snyder Cut yet.
Yeah, I saw it.
What'd you think?
I mean, it's a lot better than the other cut. I'll tell you that.
There you go.
It was good. A lot of backstory stuff. I won't get into it that much, but I mean,
No.
they explained a lot, which was good. And then they took a bunch of the other DC movies and kind of molded them in there now, so they're in there. The only gripe I have with the Snyder Cut, and I get it, it's the creative thing, is it's not in widescreen, so it's just I feel bad. Well, I mean, for me, I want like 4K widescreen, ultra high def. I want all that because I bought the equipment, I have the fast internet, and unfortunately for me, when I watched the movie, it looked like an old XVID, MP4. It didn't look nice, the movie itself. And I think that was, and I get it. They even say it in the very beginning of the movie that it's preserved in 4/3, format because of his creative, juices and all that stuff. But, it's 2021. People have 80, 90-inch TVs. And fast internet, and we want our ultra high def. And unfortunately, it looked like crap on my TV. But the story was phenomenal, and it's a good overall watch. So I would definitely watch it.
Okay. Elliot Worsfold says, question, is it worth it to use Conquest currency on relic mats, Zimbiddle cards, etc.? I am focusing mainly on the Razor Crest. I haven't used any for that, but if you're close to getting someone done and you just need like 5 pieces of this or 5 pieces of that, I'm okay with you spending to get that done. If he's gonna get a character to relic, what do you think, Loki?
It's hard to say, man. It just depends where you're at in the game, and then if you can afford to farm that gold gear and convert it. Without hurting your roster, or I'm sorry, not hurting the progress of your roster, right? Because that's all you're doing is you're trading that Conquest currency as if you were going to convert all the gold gear into the Zimbiddle cards and the Relic 8 mat, right?
Right.
It's hard to say. Razor Crest, I think you're safe to say now that you'll have, you'll have 3 opportunities to get additional Razor Crest shards. So
yeah,
was that like 1,500 currency you should save to get the additional Razor Crest shards on top of the free box, right? So maybe beyond that, if you can do your math, because you're going to collect 1,500 worth of Razor Crest shards. Then beyond that, if you do your math and you don't mind, so you can save all that gold gear, then buy the other stuff. It's hard to say because I can see the value of gold gear, especially if you have issues getting it, or you don't finish well in the raids and all that to get that gold gear, because that's ultimately going to take your characters up to gear 13, right? You're going to need that. And I wouldn't slow that down at all for Razor Crest or anything like that. If you're at that year, though, that's another thing about it. You can always buy, right? You can buy it for crystals. So, and Razor Crest shards you can't get for crystals right now. So, just keep that in mind.
All right. Well, something just went funky on Zoom. Have we got the Nev back?
Yeah.
All right. Let me look here. Guys, get your questions in. Starting to get to the tail end of the show, but if you have questions you want to pop in, go ahead and pop those in. Let me see. Wow, we're caught up on questions. Wow.
Never gonna give you
Oh,
up.
God.
Never gonna let you down.
Oh,
Never gonna
jeez.
tell a lie. Desert you.
Thank you, Rambam, for the bitty cheers of Rick rolling myself. So there you go. Good morning, Proper Catch in the chat. So we're caught up on questions. Wow. All right. Okay. It's a first for the Jedi Academy. We've actually caught up on questions. So if you guys have questions that you...
I have a question for you, man. How's your Bo-Katan?
She's getting there. I need 2 more pieces to get her to Relic, and then I'm going to rock and roll with her. I'm excited, man. I think she's got a lot of potential. That damage on her is stupid. It really
Good,
is.
man. I want to see some good stuff, man.
And my mouse died or something? What the hell's going on? No, seriously, my mouse just died.
Sorry, change the battery.
That's right. My keyboard died keyboard died before the show yesterday. So yeah, nightmare. Oh. Puppy's doing tricks. No biting.
Uh-oh. All right, you guys keep watching the chat and talking. I gotta go.
Get another battery.
Yeah, something just... my mouse literally just died on me. I'll be right back.
I knew it was the battery. I told you. Nev, so
Yes.
everybody's speculating we're getting 6 new tunes.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
What do you think we're getting, man?
I think we're getting the 2 Mandalorians that were with Bo-Katan in season 2. I can't remember the characters' names off the top of my head, but I think we're getting those 2. I think we're getting Fennec Shan, Mayfeld, and a couple more Imperial Remnant characters.
So you think, okay, so there's a part of me that agrees with you, and then the other part of me, because based on those icon updates, you know, especially on the Android one, right? They changed the icons now to what is it, Maul and Grandmaster Yoda. There's a part of me that wants to believe too that they're just going to do a hard pivot into Clone Wars again, or
no, it's no. I don't think it's going to be a pivot to Clone Wars. I think it's going to be a pivot to post Clone Wars because the Bad Batch is set. The Bad Batch is going to be set immediately after the Clone Wars. The Bad Batch is going to be set immediately after the Clone Wars, and I think that the icon being changed to Maul is simply an Easter egg that we are going to see Maul in the Bad Batch.
Yeah.
I think that we're going to see Maul in the Bad Batch, and that's why that's the case. So, because one of the things that I speculated at the end of last year, the beginning of this year, and what I've been speculating for the last 2 months is that we were going to get 2 epic confrontations. I thought that Bo-Katan was going to be 1 epic confrontation. And then I thought that we were going to get some marquee characters from the Bad Batch. Maul was going to make an appearance. And then at the end of the year, we were going to get another epic confrontation that could potentially be Maul. And that was my speculation.
Right. But you don't think one of those 6 new tunes is going to be Bad Batch or post?
No. I don't think that we're going to. I don't think we're going to get any. I don't think we're going to get any Bad Batch until either halfway through or at the end of the show. A bit like they did with the Mandalorian. Well, you know, we didn't get anything immediately, even though we wanted it. I think 2021 is going to be like 2018. I think it's going to be a year of marquees. I still think that we're going to get a couple of epic confrontations. I still think we'll get an epic confrontation in the middle of the year, around about May. Paul thinks it's going to be June. I reckon it's going to be around about May. And then we'll get another epic confrontation at the end of the year. And that's what I think is going to... I don't think that I do still genuinely don't think that we're going to get GLs this year. I think we're all GL'd out. And I think that we're going to get epic confrontations this year. Because it's easier to do epic confrontations. When you do a GL event, you got to have 2 characters. You've got to have a light side and a dark side. But with epic confrontation, they can do it just like they did with the year that we got Malik and Gas. one light side gas, one dark side Malik, and that's why I thought we were going to get Bo-Katan as a light side epic confrontation, and maybe more at the end of the year as a dark side epic confrontation. So yeah.
All right.
Oh, Ranger's back! Yay!
Yeah, I've been back, and we also have the fourth Hokage, who's back as well. Okay, so do you guys do any questions in the chat, or you guys are just talking?
Well, we kind of. So I was gonna say, Overkill 187. That was his question. Was did he think it was going to be Galactic Legends, Epic Confrontation, or Legendaries next? And I think Nev touched on that point pretty well.
Okay. All right, next question. What else in 3 says question? How likely is Dad Bod Bubba, and I say Bubba because it's Dad Bod, it's not Boba, being one of the marquees? I don't know. Do we think Boba's going to be a marquee, or do we think that's going to be something higher? What do you think, Thing, since you're just popping in here randomly?
I don't think we're getting Boba until after his show.
Yeah, I don't think so. Or not till the start of it, right?
Either the start, middle, end, one of those. But not until around his showtime.
Yeah, I agree. Now, do we think it's going to be a marquee, or do we think it's going to be something higher?
It depends on how the show ends.
Oh, God. Ridiculous. Anybody else thoughts on that? God. All right. Next question. Wolf Elsa's question: what are the odds that CG changes some of the more OP data disk and not make them so OP, or change that they stack? I don't know. I don't know what the odds are on that. What do you guys say? Over under 50% that they change the data disk or something?
Zero.
Yeah,
Zero chance. The majority of the community is loving is loving Conquest the way it is right now.
Yeah.
No. They are loving Conquest the way it is right now. To change something that people are loving would just it would just annoy too many people. Oh, for goodness sake, do you need to go out again?
And they called it puppy love.
You are not rolling around. You are not rooting around in my studio, young lady. Absolutely not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
That's more entertaining than the Jedi Academy at the moment. We'll never have a conniption fit over his dog. What do you think, Thane? Any changes to the data disk?
If they change anything, they'll change the how many slots they take up. So like the stacking offense, the deployable ones, they might make them from like 1 slot to 2 slots, or from 2 slots to 3 slots, just to limit the amount of them that you can put on at once. But that's it. I don't think they'll change the actual abilities.
Okay. And I think Loki stepped away from the old desk. All right. Dexatronic question says, I won't have C's ultimate unlocked before the start of 3v3. How can I use him in 3v3? He's Relic 7. Where can you use him, Thing? Offense, obviously. No, put him on defense.
Actually, I was going to say put him on defense.
Put him on defense!
Yeah, because he's not going to be very banner efficient on offense. And then on defense, it's going to require your opponent to at least do something somewhat strong.
Because if I saw that, I'd be like, free banners.
Well, in 5s, yes, because you can Imperial Trooper it. But in 3s?
But what would you run with him then on defense?
That's what you have. You probably have Sidious. You probably have...
you got to run a tank in there. You got to run a tank because you don't want them just targeting C and burning them down.
Yeah.
I mean...
Yeah, you can run Sith Trooper.
Yeah. I know. I'm kind of conflicted on this one.
Yeah, my only issue with him on offense is that he's not very banner efficient. That's my only issue.
That's true. Well, it depends on what you're using him for. That's a tough one. I guess if you're gonna get the most out of your bang for your buck, going defense might be the play. I wouldn't put him up front. And what the hell is that? Is someone? What the hell is that? What is this? The Hunchback of Notre Dame? What the hell was that?
A ground poem here.
Good Lord. Dinner time. Wow. I don't know what that was, but it didn't sound... it's crazy. It's cowbell. Well, whatever that song was. I think Nev's fighting the good fight over there with Puppylicious over there. All right. Well, hey, if you guys got questions, now's the time to pop them in. Maybe we'll stop a little bit early today for not getting any other questions. Covered a lot of ground today, so it's not like we haven't been talking ad nauseum about everything. But if you have a question, there you go. Okay, here we go. $5 super chat from Meow Meow. She says, "Where's Dingo Thane? Is he safe? Is he all right?"
I'm here.
It seems, Meow Meow, in your rage, you killed her. Carlos Reyes says, "I think Nev lives close to a church." No. Unless he's actually in the church, because that was right next to the mic. I mean, it was bing, bing. I was about to start chanting, like, no, yes, Meow Meow, Dingo Thane is safe. All right, what else do you three? Says question: do you see any changes coming to GAC divisions in the next 6 months or even year? Oh, we've talked about this. We sure like to see an upper division one. I know what we'd like to see. Loki thing. Do we actually think it's going to be something that they do?
No.
Thing?
So now that Conquest is done, I think that in the next couple of months, it is a possibility. So we can assume that they're working on any kind of changes that they're seeing during this exhibition phase, and that maybe like next month or so they'll kind of keep tweaking it. But I feel that after that they'll have some time to go back and like give us some quality of life updates, with GAC being one of those.
Yeah, I mean, we need a split. I mean, between 10 million and 4.5 million, there's a little bit of a gap there. Not the same GAC, a little different. I also like to see in higher GAC divisions them add a team or two on defense. You know, so that big thing's a little bit more spicy. I know you really want that, Loki, to add another team or two in fives and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think their hesitation for also making more divisions because they don't want to give us more rewards. But honestly, they don't need to give us more rewards. We just want the more teams on defense.
Sure. Like, if you up the rewards by just a couple each for going to the next division, nobody gives a shit about that.
Yeah. Give us more credits for liquor.
Yeah, you know, we just want to have, you know, good fights represented for the divisions that you're in, stuff like that. You know, so, yeah, when you're 10 million GP and you're fighting these monster accounts and you're competing with someone that's at, say, like 4.5 to 5, right? Or someone that's playing lower and has really done a good job with their account and really, you know, streamlined it. It's not the same GAC. It's just not, right? So you can't really... It's like comparing apples to oranges. It's a total different fighting format. Who you're facing, the mods, the teams, the things that you have to do to win. I mean, if you guys have not seen Loki's GAC, they're pretty brutal, man. I mean, you've got to be on top of your game because... if you watch Loki's GAC, you see like the ridiculous, and I mean ridiculous teams that he's having to face. It's all meta teams, it's all crazy modding, it's all that stuff. So, yeah. And I think Nev's come back. Nev, is there?
Yeah.
Right.
Who else is in here?
It's Thane, but we were wondering what that ding ding sound we just heard.
Ding ding? What ding ding?
It sounded like you were ringing the bell for Nostradamus.
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I didn't ring. No, it wasn't ringing anything. Just took the puppy out. Just put the puppy on the long lead outside so she can run around in the garden.
All right. David Bond question. IG-11.
Oh, sorry. No, hang on. No, I did leave my phone down here, so it might have been.
Oh, there we go. All right. Next question from David Bond. Question: IG-11 Zeta. Is it worth it?
Only if you're running him with Bam or with Ray.
Anybody else?
Yeah, I'm still farming IG-11. I don't do anything to characters until I don't start gearing them or using them until they hit 6 stars.
All right. Look, what do you think?
No, that's the answer. I just Zeted him for the hell of it.
I did too.
I got a lot of Zetas, so.
Hey, I got a couple Zetas in here. I'm going to put it on IG-11. There we go. All right. Is there any other questions? I'm looking. So wait a minute. Wait, Nev. So your phone rings like a church chime or something?
No. My tablet is my tablet, so that I can watch the chat there. That makes alerts. And so does my phone. So, like for example, that one that you just heard there was someone going live on Twitch.
Oh. We were wondering what the hell was going on. I was like, bong, bong.
Yeah, no, my phone goes did it, and my tablet goes did it.
No, that was not what the sound was. It sounded
was it
like,
not did it?
No, it was bong, bong. Kind of scared us. We're thinking,
okay.
Yeah.
No idea. I mean, it might have been a tweet. I mean, looking at the notifications on my phone, there was a Twitch notification and there was a Twitter notification.
Mm-hmm.
So
go on.
Okay. I'll check it out. I'll let you know what it was. I'll let you know. Sure. It was a DM. Someone was DMing me on Twitter.
Okay. So
private account, not the gaming account. So
sure.
It's completely different subject material on my personal Twitter as opposed to the Pom-Pom-tastic Twitter.
Okay, there we go. Okay. Just making sure. Get that squared away.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just happy I got my mouse working. Huzzah! Yay!
Huzzah! Yeah, batteries.
Yeah, it just died completely. I was like, what the that's a pain in the ass. All right, let's see. We got another question here from I Am Saya. Question: it's probably been covered already, but what do you guys think is the next set of factions for Galactic Legend? Oh, we haven't covered that one. I don't even know, man. Good lord. First of all, you have to figure out what is going to be the next Galactic Legend, let alone what faction characters you will have to have for the damn thing. Oh god, I really am not looking forward to another Galactic Legend farm working. Just good god.
Yeah, which is why I don't think that it will. That's the main reason why I don't think it will be.
I just don't think we're getting one soon.
No, I don't.
I mean, Loki, Thane, your thoughts?
I don't know. They have to do something to shake up the meta. So whether it's a GL or Ever Confrontation or what it is, I think they kind of put themselves in a corner where
they really have.
They kind of made it to where GLs are kind of the meta in Arena. I know a lot of the whales are not happy with Arena right now because it's a little too balanced.
Yeah, but I mean that happens over time anyway, right? The free to play are going to catch up, and I don't mind it because so I have to climb like an extra battle or two. It is what it is, but I still have the advantage with mods and stuff. So even though you see new players coming in with their teams, they kind of get destroyed. I mean, they can climb and stuff. I mean, anybody can climb, but I just launched my game again. I got my Razor Crest shards finally. Huzzah! Yay! More Razor Crest for me.
Yay! I got mine too.
Yay!
Still a half a year to 12 months before the ship, though. Unfortunately.
Let's see. I'm 36 out of 145. All right. Well, I'll eventually get it unlocked. It is what it is. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. The arena's balanced. Free to play have caught up in a sense. But yeah, I think the problem is with the Galactic Legends, they really have put themselves in a corner, right? Because the only way you're going to shake up the meta is to bring out another 2 OP characters. You know, so what are the next 2 OP characters going to be? I mean, I don't know. I mean, Jesus. I mean, it's really the only viable option they have. If you're going to shake up the meta, you've got to put in some OP stuff to make it work, right? So that it shakes it up. So yeah. But what are they going to be and what faction? Your guess is as good as ours. When are they coming? Who are they going to be? What the faction is? I mean, shit. At this point, it could be anything. I don't know what they're going to do. Because a lot of, if you looked at the 4 Galactic Legends, if you have them, that's what, over 40 characters that you have to relic high level. If you do Luke, it's even more. If you count Jedi Luke in there, which I kind of do. He's almost what I consider Galactic Legend that's not. He's pretty OP. So, what, we're going to start doing Tuskens for something? I don't know. We get the next Galactic Legend, the Crate Dragon. Huzzah!
Yeah, that's not going to happen. Not going to happen.
So I don't know. But who the characters going to be and what faction you're going to have to farm up for those? I have no earthly idea. I know a lot. I just don't know everything. But all right, let's see if there's any other questions. If not, we wrap it up a little bit early, which sucks for me because I have to get my ass on the hill and start digging up soil. I think that'll be great. Let me look one more time for questions. Nope, no more questions. So I'm going to give it a minute countdown. If you have another question, get it in now. If not, we're going to start wrapping it up. Let's stop a little bit earlier. We covered everything. Covered quite a lot. Covered Conquest. Covered Bo-Katan. Covered Thing in a Blanket. What? You heard it here first. Farm Tuskens. God, wouldn't that be a kick in the balls if they made Tuskens as something as for the next Galactic Legend? I would be over the top angry. Because they are such a shitty faction.
Yeah, no, that would not be good. That would not be good.
I start seeing Cup and stuff being part of the next Galactic Legend. I'm going to give CG a thrashing. Like, seriously. I don't mind if you have even some, you know, it's bad enough you made it to Rose Tika, but even I have to admit, she does have her uses, although rare. But, Tuskens, Jawas, well, Jawas can be okay, but Tuskens definitely.
What about Sidious, man? Nobody brings up Sidious, man.
He's so bad. I mean, he's
yeah.
So
we had
bad.
a Relic 7 his ass.
I'm not looking forward to that. That's gonna really make life miserable. But I don't know who they're gonna require for the next Galactic Legend. So maybe Plo Koon gets a Tusken tag and becomes a legend. Sure, let's go with that. There, I am Saya. Yes, that's the next Galactic Legend. Over the top, Plo Koon. No, let's not do that. That'd be bad. Okay, it'd be bad. It'd be real bad. Man, I can't believe the marquee's already about to end. We just did it, man. They made those shorter. You like instead of 3 or 4 days, it's like 2 days now. It's like wow.
Which marquee? What are you talking about?
Bo-Katan.
You talking the event, or you're talking
the event? The event, not the packs.
I thought the packs were all. I mean, the events were always only like a couple days.
I thought there were 3 days before. All right. 2 quick questions from Yum Yum, then we'll wrap it up. Says question: what if we got Palpatine from the games? Robo Palpatine. And no, I'm not interested in that. Anybody here interested in Robo Palpatine?
I'd want what was it? The Shadow of the Empire's Palpatine, the young Palpatine, the clone.
Oh,
like, I would want that one.
No, that'd be cool.
No,
I think that one's sick.
Yeah, it's not Shadow with it. That's Dark. That's Dark Empire.
Dark Empire, yep.
Yeah, that's the one I want.
Oh yeah, that would be a boss Palpatine. That.
Then get Dark Side Luke and Mara Jade and all that. Make it all come together.
I would say
They can do them. I mean, Crumb did say in 2019 at Celebration that they can do extended universe characters. It's just they.
Well, where the hell is Darth Bane and Lord Hoth? Get their ass in the game then. What are we doing? Let's make it happen. It's about time. Damn it. Where's our XR Coon? What is happening? Where's our Darth Malgus?
Oh God, XR, yeah. XR Coon.
Where's our Darth Malgus? Where's our Satil Shan? What's happening? Let's get him in there. Let's do it. We got the characters. We have the technology. We can make it better. Okay, I think we can start wrapping it up. We'll wrap it up a few minutes early today. Covered a lot of questions, covered a lot of ground today. So, very effective Jedi Academy. I want to thank my panel for being here today, of course, as always. And if you would like to thank them as well, support what they're doing, guys. Now, of course, most of us is the RC crew. If you would like, you know when we stream. If you don't, you can check out our channels on YouTube and Twitch. We'll be doing D&D tonight. Hopefully, I think we're still set for D&D. So we'll have a D&D session tonight, so that'll be a lot of fun. And then, what else? Tomorrow we might do D&D as well. And then next week we just get hot and heavy into GAC again, where we have a lot of extra streams and stuff. But yeah, you can check out all our channels, hit the thumbs up, everything like that. Now, that being said, please check out these other panelists and channels when they do come on. They're not here today, but they do pop in, and when they do, please go support the channels by watching them, all that kind of stuff. Give them the thumbs up, things of that nature. So, with that, Nev, where can folks check you out at, my friend?
Folks can check me out at the Escape Pod on Twitch and Escape Podcast on YouTube.
That's right. A lot of good stuff. They stream on Fridays doing the Escape Pod cast, and then on Tuesdays, of course, you can see me in the Nav doing the GA Center, where we cover all the content creators that we can and talk about GAC. It's a lot of fun. If you haven't checked it out, please do. We break down all the wins and losses and everything that goes down in GAC. We're getting ready to start again with 3v3. So, yeah, I saw you had a question, Meow. I'm ignoring you. You're a bad kitty. No catnip for you. But yeah, check out the Escape Podcast if you haven't. All right, with that, we're going to call this one done. So make sure you hit that thumbs up on the way out. Make sure you subscribe. Check out these other channels. Last thing I'm going to say, like I always do, is wash your hands, wash your face, wear your mask, social distance. Make sure if you can get vaccinated, folks. With that, we're going to call this one done. So on behalf of myself and everybody here, thank you so much for joining us here on the Jedi Academy. Have a great rest of your day, and we will see you when we see you. Salute.